Hello boys and girls. Today I have come to the beach. I wonder, do you like going to the beach? Playing in the sand, playing in the water. Today is actually a nice sweet day for doing just that. But maybe you've come to the beach and you've looked at the sand and you've thought, where did this come from? Maybe you look at the water and think, where did all of that water come from? How did it all come about? Well, for a couple of minutes today, we're going to look at the story of creation. Because a long time ago, somebody created the world. I wonder, do you know who that person was? Because God's very special book, the Bible, tells us it was him. And let me read to you what the Bible teaches us. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And I'm going to show you and tell you what exactly he did. Because all those years ago, God spoke. And God said, let there be light. You know, boys and girls, there was no sun, there was no moon, but there was light. God did this just by speaking the words. Wow, isn't that amazing? I certainly couldn't do anything like that. God spoke, let there be light. And there was light. This was day one of creation. But let's see what else happened. Because the Bible tells us God spoke again. And this time, he separated the waters. And what that means is the whole world became one big ocean. And in the sky, there was clouds in the sky as well. You know, the Bible tells us God did all of this just by speaking the words. Isn't that amazing? So wonderful. Let's keep going. We've done day one, let there be light. Day two, he spoke and he separated the waters. I wonder what's going to happen in day three. I'm going to show you a picture and I want you to look at it and see if you can figure out some of the things that God created on day three. Are you ready? What can you see on the picture? There's lots of different things that came on day three. I can see plants, I can see trees and the mountains. You see, dry land appeared, so the world was no longer one big ocean, but the mountains appeared and the valleys came and the plants arrived and the trees. And boys and girls, again, God did all of this. How? Just by speaking. He didn't have a magic wand. He didn't say abracadabra and it happened. No, he spoke the words. You know, boys and girls, if I was to give you something, say I made a picture for you, and I was going to give that to you, what would I have need to have done to do the picture? Well, I would need a piece of paper and I would need some paint, wouldn't I? And I would have to sit down and paint that picture for you and then I would show it to you. But I couldn't paint a picture just by speaking the words. That's not going to work. Could you do that? No. But just by speaking, God created, that means he made everything in the world. So we've done 3 days so far. Can you remember day one? Let there be light. Day two, the waters separated. So we had clouds in the sky and we had a big ocean. Day three, dry land appeared. The world is starting to take shape. It's starting to look really, really interesting. Let's see what came on day number 4. This is some of the things that come out at night time. I wonder, can you see what I'm talking about? Here's our picture. And we see in day number 4, God made the sun, the moon, and the stars. Now the sun is a big burning ball that gives off heat and light, and the moon reflects the light from the sun. Do you know, boys and girls, here's a really interesting fact. See, if the sun was even 1 centimetre, which isn't very much, closer to Earth, we wouldn't be able to live here because it would be too hot. If the sun was 1 centimetre away from Earth, it would be too cold and we wouldn't be able to live on Earth. Wow, God really is amazing. He really knows what he's doing and he knew exactly where to put everything. Have you ever looked up at the sky at night when it's full of stars and thought, oh, I would like to count them? Sometimes I've tried to do that, but there's so many of them that I simply cannot. God placed each star in the sky. Isn't that wonderful, boys and girls? Let's move on. So that's day 4. Okay, what's after day 4? day 5. Let's see what happens now. The Bible tells us that God made all the birds of the air. I wonder, are you a bird person and you like to see all the different birds that there are? Maybe you like to study them, maybe you like to look at pictures of them, maybe you know somebody who's a bird watcher and sits in one of those wee huts and looks at them. Well, day 5 was the day that God made all types of birds. Wow, and how many there are. But that wasn't all, because if we look at this part of the picture, we see that God also made every living animal in the ocean. So that's all your little fish, it's all your medium-sized fish, and it's all those big whales that we see about on TV and we think, oh, they are so big. That's what God did on day number 5. It's really all starting to come together, isn't it, boys and girls? God was making something truly wonderful and truly amazing. But let's keep going. With day 1, with day 2, 3, 4, 5. So that must mean day 6 is coming. And what a wonderful day day 6 was. Because the Bible tells us that God made all of the animals. Look at this picture. I wonder what animals you can see in our picture today. I can notice a really big one. Can you see it too? It's the elephants. That's right. God made the elephants. But we also see there's smaller things. There's smaller animals, like there's a little lamb or a little fox. God made every type of animal. And I don't know about you, but there's still so many animals that I don't know about. But God knows. He knows everything about them because He made them. He created them. But there's also something else in this picture, which is truly the best thing that God made. Do you know who that was? That's right. This person here. The Bible tells us that God made the very first man. His name is Adam. And God made him from the dust of the ground. Wow. Now here's the difference between man and animals. The Bible tells us that God breathed life into this man, Adam. And Adam is able to think, he's able to make choices, he's able to do things. You see, animals aren't made like that, boys and girls. And boys and girls, the Bible tells us that God made you special, unique, just the way you are. In fact, you were made in the image of Him. And He wants you to know Him in that way. You see, when God made the animals, He made them different to us because we were made to know God. And that means that we were made to understand all about Him. God wants to be your friend. He wants to have a relationship with you. I wonder, boys and girls, do you know our Creator God? In fact, there's some songs that are coming to my head called Creator God. I wonder, do you know Him? It really is a beautiful day here at the beach. And it's lovely because I know that God made this day as well. And boys and girls, I hope today that you know Him in that very special way. If you trust in Him, ask Him to take away the wrong things in your life. That's how you can know Him in the best way. You see, God made a perfect world. And on day number 7, what happened? He rested. Not because He was tired, because God does not get tired. He rested because everything that He made was good. It was just right. Boys and girls, we know later that Adam and Eve did wrong things and sin came into the world and it spoiled God's wonderful creation. But God knew that was going to happen, and that's why He sent Jesus to die on the cross for the wrong things that we've all done. And so today, we've learned all about how God created the world. I wonder, do you know Him in that amazing and wonderful way?
Hi boys and girls, we're going to do a wee quiz now, okay? So I'm going to ask the questions to the girls first, okay? So the first question for the girls is this. Who was there at the very beginning? Who was there at the very beginning? I think you know. God. That's right. God is the right answer. Okay, your turn, boys. God made the world. But how did God do it? God made the world. But how did God do it? I think you know. He spoke and the world was made. He spoke and the world was made. Okay, girls, your second question. What did God make on the first day? What did God make on the first day? Wee clue? Light. That's right. Light. He made the light. Okay, boys, second question. What did God do on the second day? What did God do on the second day when he created the world? You think you know? God separated the sea and the sky on the second day. Well done, you were listening well. Okay, girls, last question. What would happen on day 4? What would happen on day 4, girls? That's a lovely day today. There's something in the sky. That's a clue. God spoke again, and he created the sun, the moon, and the beautiful twinkly stars. Okay, boys, your last question. What book tells us that God made the world? And Rachel was holding it. That's a clue for you. What book tells us that God made the world? Well done, boys. It was the Bible. Good job. Maybe see you soon, boys and girls. Take care now, stay safe, and look after each other. God bless. Bye bye.